Who's your favorite superhero?
Ooh, so that's really hard. I would say it's probably someone silly like Batman.
Why though?
He's kind of dark and brooding, and he's got like that mysterious personality when he's Yeah, that was a little Or who's the dude from Watchmen?
Dr. Manhattan?
Dr. Manhattan.
Dr. Manhattan?
He's another one that kind of reminds me of like, you know,
you like that blue dick?
yeah, something about it. Mystique.
Mystique.
She
Ooh,
doesn't
yeah.
have a blue dick, but
Nope.
blue.
Yeah. Abba dee, abba die.
I'm unloading the meat. I'm loading the meat. I'm unloading the meat. I'm loading the meat. I'm unloading the meat. I'm loading the meat. I'm unloading the meat. I don't even know what it means, what it is, what it is, what it is, what it is, what it is. Hey, I'm unloading the meat. I'm loading the meat. I'm unloading the meat. I'm loading the meat. I'm unloading the meat. I'm loading the meat.
This episode of Unloading Meat is not brought to you by your favorite male enhancement, such as Blue Chew or whatever other names they have. I really don't know anything about the products. I obviously don't take them. This guy over here, Stefano, does, right? You take them? Which one do you take? You don't? What do you mean you don't? Obviously you don't need. Wow. I'm just sorry, guys. I kind of lost my train of thought. I'm just really more impressed that he actually got laid. If you're tired of these fake ads, make sure to reach out to your favorite sponsors like Blue Chew and tell them to sponsor Unloading Meat. Now back to the show. Hey guys, new episode Unloading Meat. I love this next guest so much. Representing the Grove right here on Unloading Meat, we have the one, the only, Bailey Mickle! What's up, Bailey?
Hey, how's it going, man?
What's up, man? Grove Street for life.
Yeah, you know what represent.
I want 2 number 6s, a number 8, a number 4. Fucking Big Smoke.
Yeah.
Fuck. I'm gonna fucking. Where's that hat? We just did it off camera. Fuck it. We're gonna represent it. Grove Street, motherfuckers.
Woo!
Los Santos in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. I sound so white right now.
Oh, me too. Me too.
I guess me 3 is on the sides of 2 people. Anyway, what's up, man? Welcome to the podcast couch.
Thank you for having me. It's an interesting couch to be on.
Is it comfy at least?
Dude, it's actually super comfy. I could really get down, you know what I mean?
I wanted to, spare no expense on that. And like, usually it comes down to like, it feels a lot like therapy when people get on there. Like, you guys get comfy and shit gets real.
Yeah.
We start out like a comedy podcast, then about 30 minutes in, and it's like, so tell me about your daddy issues.
Yeah, you know.
Wrong.
What's that, daddy?
Daddy, yes? Huh? Oh. That's some knob slobbing.
Do you recognize that clip?
I probably should, but not immediately.
Grapefruit. Do you know the grapefruit lady?
The grapefruit? No, I don't think so.
Okay. I've educated some of my guests on this. That I always like do a merit check or just like a litmus check of like, do you know who that clip is from?
What you want to do is make sure the grapefruit is room temperature. Now, when you grapefruit your man, he has to be blindfolded.
Yo,
His
imagine how
hands
big
get
his dick would
about
have to
it.
be
Why?
for how big of a
Came
hole
to
she
the
cut in that
bedroom with a
grapefruit.
grapefruit. What is your man going to
That
say?
has to be a massive
What are you going to
cock.
do with that? Is it going to burn and all that other thing? So you don't want any of that. So this is what you do. Say, baby, you know what? Tonight, I want to do something a little freakier. I want to suck your dick blindfolded. Your man will blindfold himself if he knows he's going to get some head. So now, the man is in the bed.
Yeah.
You have the grapefruit already prepared.
watch
He's in
the-
bed. He smelled the citrus in the air. He thinks you have on some new Victoria's Secrets or something. He has no idea. And what you're going to do is be a woman of your word. Now, you have to get his penis erect. So what you're going to do is just suck his dick, just like you said you were going to do. Once he's nice and erect, what you're going to do is replace the grapefruit from your mouth. You're going to twist up and down on his shaft and suck the head at the same time. Now, ladies, remember, grapefruit is also a fat burner, so you're actually losing weight while you're sucking his dick. Now, Once you're doing this technique, it feels amazing to him, but he still has no idea what you're doing. So what you want to tell your man to do is this: take the blindfold off.
I love it.
He's going to be looking at you like, what the hell are you doing? But he'll never say stop. All he's going to be thinking is, I could have been fucking a grapefruit all these years. And that's the grapefruit technique.
That's the entire video.
I fucking love it. That's beautiful.
It's educational, right?
That's beautiful and educational.
So yeah, that's the sound. It's just so casual, right? She just does it and it's like nothing, like nothing, like a totally normal sound effect to have just daily life.
See, the thing is, if it was me, that's all she'd have to do. She wouldn't even need to go get the grapefruit. It would already be over. It'd just be like, oh God. The second I heard the noise, it would just be like,
She'd have to get a kiwi.
yeah, it's very small.
Yeah, and extinct. No, I'm thinking of the bird, small flightless bird.
Oh,
Yeah, did you know kiwis were a bird?
I didn't. I thought they were a people and a fruit.
Well, I mean, yeah, they also used to be a bird.
I
They're extinct. It's like so like when people like that whenever the now WWF, not the wrestlers, the pandas, when they talk about how like endangered species are happening and things could be extinct, the common one is the kiwi or the dodo, and then like the kiwi is extinct. The kiwi is like it's a weird bird. It's like really tiny. It looked like a flamingo but tiny, and it had like this really long beak, and they went extinct. And people are like, it's like a thing of like, don't let things go extinct, like the kiwi kind of thing. And it's like, who the fuck cares?
I mean, that's the circle of life.
Yeah.
That's how nature works.
Yeah, just how it happens.
Neanderthals went extinct.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, there are some things like, do we really need to have all the elephants go extinct just to get ivory?
Well, I mean, I'm not saying we should hunt things to extinction. I'm just saying,
I do want a good set of dye. I mean, eventually I'll pick up Dungeons and Dragons, and boy, do I want a good set.
I would pay $1,000 for an ivory back scratcher.
Ooh. Only 1,000?
It's a Simpsons reference.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say this got really real. Like we're gonna have to bleep that on YouTube.
No. It was a Simpsons reference.
Right
It's
here
a-
on the Home Shopping Network, we have
ivory back scratcher.
That's gonna be the thumbnail. Ivory back scratch, $1,000 back scratchers.
Yeah.
Grove Street. I'm loving this episode already, man. So, welcome to the podcast, man. I'm so happy to have you here. How long have you been in the comedy scene?
So my first open mic in Oklahoma was May 16th of 2023.
Okay.
But I did do an open mic when I was living in West Virginia.
Okay.
It was at a karaoke bar
Oh shit.
during a karaoke night. And I told the host, I was like, hey, can I go up and do some jokes? And she was like, yeah, reluctantly. And I was
Reluctantly is always the best part.
She was very reluctant. She was like, yeah, I guess. And I was like, cool, thanks. So she gave me the mic. When it was my turn, she was like, and the next we've got some comedy from Bailey. And I was like, fuck yeah. So I rolled up there and I grabbed it. And first time ever doing comedy at all. So you know it's going to be horrible.
Yeah.
And it was at a karaoke bar where people wanted singing.
Do you remember what was sung before you went up?
No.
Okay, 'cause
No.
that would have been a good memory, like to have. Like maybe I was wondering if it's like a trigger moment, like you hear that song and all of a sudden the PTSD kicks in.
Yeah.
It's like, God damn it, one headlight by the wall came on.
Just start cold sweating and hyperventilating. Oh.
It's just Natalie Imbruglia's Torn. Caused you to have a mental breakdown.
No. Daddy, no.
I'm all out of faith. I'm gonna get copyright struck. I can't do that. Man, we're starting off hot on this, but anyway, so go on about your karaoke one mic or open mic set.
So I got up there, and the very first thing I wanted to talk about was porta potties, because it was.
I'm intrigued. Go on.
Well, if people know me and have seen me around, they know that one of the only jokes I do is about porta potties.
Okay.
And it's been something that I've joked about for years. So I was like, I'm going to go up there and I'm going to do my porta potty joke. And it wasn't good. It wasn't developed at all. So in front of probably
Spoiler alert.
40 people, in a karaoke bar that wanted karaoke, I go up and I'm talking about beating my dick in porta potties.
Oh my god, yeah, that just
Very, very openly, just like, have you guys ever jacked off in a porta potty? That's the only place I jack off. I love it. And the host, like, her jaw dropped, and I went on for maybe like 30 seconds, and then I was like, and I'm done. I just left.
just like in the porta potty.
Yeah, I just fucking left. I was like, nope, and never went back to that bar. I was so embarrassed. Should not have done it.
You should have just mic drop, like, just like in the porta potty, I'm finished.
See, had I had any comedic prowess or knowledge at all, that's what I would have done.
Yeah.
But I was just an idiot with a microphone who wasn't prepared at all.
It's great though, man. I love that you did it at a karaoke bar though.
It was the only thing.
Do you ever
available.
karaoke?
No.
Really?
No, not me.
Oh, you should.
It would be fun. I've just got a horrible singing voice.
Dude, there's always a song. Dude, Tequila by the Champs. Like, we did that at karaoke once a couple weeks ago. Like, I don't know. Like, I honestly want... Go Theater does open mic and they do karaoke afterwards.
Yeah.
I love the idea of mixing those two. Especially from a performer standpoint. Like, there's times, like, after Cellar that I've gone with a couple people and we do the First Shop karaoke afterwards. Because after I get on stage, I'm kind of like off. I don't know about you, but I'm on a high. Like, I'm I want to do more. I want to do something else. And I have this energy. And like karaoke is a way to just like have a drink, to unwind, and it's no stress. It's like performing, but with no stress.
Yeah.
Because like I'm singing somebody else's song and just fucking getting drunk or having fun, instead of worrying about my own fucking material and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the reason I bring up karaoke is like I love karaoke a lot. I love to sing. During COVID and stuff, I still am. Like, there's a Discord server that's like a worldwide karaoke.
Really?
Yeah, and there's thousands of people on there worldwide. And like at all times of the day, you can hear like Korean people singing on there, people from Europe, and they're all just in random chats. You can grab and go in and just sing your heart out. That's awesome. They even have VR in there, so like you can have a little virtual stage, and like people get in their VR headsets and watch people come up on there and sing karaoke and stuff.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's fucking cool. Like during COVID, a lot of ingenuity happened. Like people just being trapped in their homes. Like, how do we still get this outlet of like human contact? And that shit happened and blossomed. And what I was getting at is karaoke for me is a great way to work on your stage presence. If you don't treat it like it's just going up there and just like mumbling a song, like I'm just gonna get drunk and do this song.
Yeah.
Go up there and actually like work the crowd, have fun, like work the stage, move around a little bit, move the mic stand, and like actually get into the performance of the song. Because most of the time, if you do a karaoke, best times most people fall back on songs they know. You want to do a song that you really know, that you don't have to worry about the lyrics too much. So do that, and then just focus on actually having fun and being like an entertainer. And that's kind of what got me back into wanting to do comedy again, was during doing karaoke stuff. I would get that itch a little bit scratched, but not quite. But I was still kind of performing when I would do singing and stuff. And yeah, like now I see that like stand up is where I should have been.
What's your go-to karaoke song? Like you have one song?
Oh, I have tons. I have a whole fucking playlist. Because I have quite a different, like I have a high pitched voice like too, but like I can sing falsettos and stuff. Let me see. Let me find my fucking playlist.
Yeah.
My karaoke playlist. Like as you can see, like I have all these songs I choose from. I like fucking Matchbox 20. I'll sing Weezer, Elton John. I go like Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. I'll sing.
Okay.
Trying to do. Let's see. I did what was the song I did? These Eyes by the Guess Who. I don't know if you know that song.
I'm not familiar now.
How about? Let's see. I don't know. I'm just going through this list now. At one point, I was doing. I don't know why this wasn't for karaoke, but at one point, when I first tried to do stand up, for some stupid reason, I memorized Yakko's Nations of the World from Animaniacs, and I was gonna do that on stage as like an encore kind of thing, just to say I can do it. And I had no bit to it. I still don't know what the overall goal was, but I just learned it for a while. And I could kind of do it still, but like not all the way. Like United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru. I can't remember all the rest of it. I can remember like chunks.
Yeah.
I'd have to like see it up in front of me that I could just go with it. But it's just the Mexican hat dance over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you necessarily have to have a bit for it. You could just go out there and do it because silly is funny.
That's true.
And I like silly. A lot of people like silly. So just because it's a silly thing, I think it would get appropriate applause.
United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru, Republic of Dominican, Cuba, Caribbean, Greenland, El Salvador, too, Puerto Rico, Colombia, Venezuela, Honduras, Guyana, and still Guatemala, Bolivia, then Argentina, then Ecuador, Chile, Brazil, and then it just goes on. Yeah, that was just off the top. Yeah,
that's fucking awesome.
It's hard, and then like the last part gets fast. It's like, Great Mauritania, then Transylvania, Monaco, Liechtenstein, Malta, Palestine, Fiji, Australia, Sudan. Like it's I don't know. Yeah, we're both really high right now. We're just riffing. This is gonna be fun to edit.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be good.
It'll be good.
It'll be fun.
Now you can kind of see the behind the scenes of like how wild or how like kind of like out there the conversation can get, and then when I go back and edit, it gets tightened up a lot.
Yeah.
Like I love editing. Like I've kind of found like, you know, not that I'm toot my own horn, but I'm pretty good at it. Like I have a lot of fun in post. Like I love post production, and I know like one of my heroes is Kevin Smith. I love Kevin Smith, and he talks about it a lot. Or like, you have this what you get on set, but then the movie's really made, and you can honestly get the identity of what the movie is in the cut. And when you're editing and you're putting that together, that's where the magic, a lot of it happens, and that can make or break a movie. It can really make a movie if you have horrible edits, like the first Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
I was sad about that one. David Ayer was on the John Barenthal podcast like a week ago. I don't know if you know who that is.
I'm not familiar.
John Barenthal he was the Punisher, and he was also like in The Walking Dead as Shane. He's an actor. He's been in Fury and a couple other things.
Okay.
He does a podcast.
I'd probably recognize him if I saw him.
Yeah. He was the Punisher in the Marvel like Daredevil movie or show.
Okay, the one that was from like the mid 2000 teens.
Yeah, the Netflix show, the Daredevil with Charlie Cox or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the Punisher in that.
Okay, then I would definitely recognize him. I know who he is.
Yeah, so he has a podcast and he interviews celebrities and stuff like that. And he interviewed David Ayer, the director of the first Suicide Squad. And that movie, it's an abomination. It's a piece of shit. Like that movie's horrible to watch. He hates that movie. The director hates that movie because it's clearly studio tampered with. That movie was butchered, and he talks about how like this was supposed to be like a character drama, like a psychological breakdown of these villains trapped. You know, they have a bomb implanted in their head. And they're doing the Suicide Squad thing. He was going that route, and somewhere around that line, Deadpool came out, and the execs go, we don't like this dark, gritty kind of like character study.
That's what DC is, though.
Yeah, let's make it into Deadpool. And so they recut it. And then they recut it again. And if you watch that movie and really watch it, each character gets like 2 different intros, and it's just music videos. The whole movie's, the first 30 minutes is just nothing but music videos.
Yeah.
It cracked me up because like, yeah, DC is owned by Warner Brothers. We know that and everything. Warner Brothers has Warner Brothers music. And I always laughed that like, as shitty as the DC movies were, their soundtracks were banging. Like they always had a great original song. Remember, like fucking Torture. The Sucker for Pain and all that stuff from Suicide Squad. Action Bronson has a great song on there. What's it called? So Standing in the Rain. It's Action Bronson and the Black Keys, and putting those two together is fucking gold. And I'm like, whoever's behind the Warner Brothers music division knew what they were doing, and then they just made shitty movies to fucking promote them.
Yeah.
And it's once you kind of look at that, it's very clear because their soundtracks are great. I'm hoping James Gunn corrects this because James Gunn's Suicide Squad was phenomenal.
Yeah. No,
Peacemaker was great.
I loved Peacemaker, dude. John Cena did such a good job in it.
Got him up there.
Yeah.
And I also got Harley Quinn with the fucking egg sandwich. Yeah.
Have you heard of this game called DC Legends?
Legends.
It's like a phone game. It's like
Vaguely.
Marvel Strike Force, but it's the DC variant of it.
Okay.
So I'm in an alliance on there, and we're the top alliance in the world every other month.
Gay!
Yeah. It's like 12 hours a day of playing during the one weekend a month that matters. It's super,
Yeah.
Gay.
Only I can say that.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm not trying to be offensive.
What's this one do? Oh yeah, that's the one that I go, you son of a. I gotta bleep myself. And then I have the sucking, and then I have.
I'm about to go down to Taco Bell and give me a blast.
That's my favorite.
I fucking love Hey Kill.
Hello,
motherfucker.
And then if I'm waiting for somebody, like if they take a long time.
Is this Jeopardy?
Yeah, the Jeopardy sound. Yeah, I love soundboards. They're fun. I need to change them. I need to change some of those up. The Trump one always works though. The Trump wrong one.
Yeah.
Wrong.
That's why I have to have it turned up.
Wrong.
DJ behind bars.
He did actually get arrested, didn't he? Oh,
yeah. There's multiple charges. I mean, this won't come out till like November, so like
play stupid games. I don't know how it's gonna play out, but
here's helping for an Epstein. Just kidding.
Epstein's not even dead.
Oh yeah,
like
the Shadow Council.
Exactly. Like they want you to think he killed himself, and that's why they made it so obvious. They were like, he killed himself. But he's really not even dead. They smuggled him out of the country to a different island.
I'm just saying, if you guys think that Tom Hanks is some kind of like mastermind, that fucker made the Pinocchio Geppetto movie, and nah, son, no mastermind there. That movie sucked. Whoever agreed to take that piece of shit on, nah.
It happens.
I'm just saying, if a kid got diddled with that, no, I'm not even gonna go there. Just say they deserved it. No.
I think if it's funny, you're allowed to say it.
What? Maybe it's fucked up though. We had Tom Hanks as Geppetto whenever he's accused of child pedophilia. With Geppetto had a little boy with him. He made his own little boy.
He did.
That something would grow on him.
Ugh.
Knock on wood. What the fuck are we talking about?
I don't know. I don't know how we got here.
I don't know either. Marijuana.
Yeah.
So, was she a hooker? Or prostitute? Sex worker. I'm not trying to shame. I'm just more curious. She wasn't? You went on a date? How the fuck are you getting laid? And how the fuck are you not needing a company like Blue Chew? Who, coincidentally, is not sponsoring today's episode of Unloading Meat. But they could be. They could be. If you're tired of these fake ads, make sure to reach out to your favorite sponsors like Blue Chew and tell them to sponsor this show. Now, back to the episode. So, you've been in since May. What has been your crowning achievement so far? Like, what is the thing you're most proud of this comedy, like getting into comedy again?
The ramp jam.
Okay, tell me about it.
So it was thrown by some skateboarders, and it was in Broken Arrow, and it had a Little Miss MG, Trash, and me on it as comedians, and then it had 4 bands, and then before that, it was a skate competition.
Nice.
It was the most insane thing I've ever seen. They had ramps set up like maybe 30 feet from the stage. So while you were performing, there were people, playing with their skateboards, doing super sick tricks and shit.
Yeah.
And, the bands were all awesome. And they had it to where everyone had so much energy that we all just went up there and, comedied our hearts out.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
That was just like 2 weeks ago or something, right?
Yeah, I think it was 2 Saturdays ago.
Yeah, because I saw the pictures of Trash and you guys out there. Yeah, that looked like a lot of fun, dude. Like, I'm so glad that you're getting out there now, because like I'd see you at a couple of open mics, but like we didn't get the chance to talk very much. And like, I distinctly remember you at Sesh, and we talked about the mic stand.
Yes. I'm better about it now.
Yes,
I've been
you are.
moving that shit,
dude. Like, for anybody, if you're anybody that's starting out or doing any kind of open mic or anything like that. Anything that's on stage that's going to battle for attention, like a mic stand, a chair, if you're not going to use it for your set, move it out of the way, because it's going to draw the audience's attention, because we're anticipating you using it. And it's just a rule of thumb to just move it out of the way, because it's going to be just like we're expecting something to happen with it, or we're constantly just looking back and forth. And dude, like, yeah. It's just little things like that we don't know until you do the reps.
Exactly. And I've been really fortunate with stuff like that, because I've had you and Trash and Misty Von B all give me like really good advice, and you know.
But also, you're not an asshole, and like you're receptive, and like you also like I go, but like you said, you just started in May and stuff like that, right? Like
Yes.
you just started again in May and stuff like that. I wanted you on this podcast, and we talked about like getting this set up and stuff because like I go by effort. I go by people putting in the effort and actually trying to better themselves and be good comedians.
I appreciate that.
And so, yeah, like it was never a hesitation or anything. Like I wanted you on the podcast because, like, one, you're good people, and I enjoy talking to you on the shows. But also, just little things like that. I mean, you could have been like, "Fuck you, asshole," or something like that. But you also saw that we were trying to help you.
Yeah.
Like we're just trying to help, and that's all we're all trying to do. Like Trash, Dylan Walters, shout out to Dylan, Missy.
Yeah.
There's different people in the scene that are really just trying to grow this culture of, you know, if you're not an asshole and you're trying to improve yourself, let's help each other improve.
And I think that's the best way to be.
Yeah.
Like the fact that the scenes like that is the only reason that I'm still like, that I still go out.
Yeah.
Because it would be super easy for me to just be like, oh, nope, that wasn't for me, and hide in my house for, you know, another 3 years.
Yeah. And then like there's rules everywhere. Like you're gonna have rules in the comments like, oh, you need to wear pants, you have to wear jeans, you can't wear shorts. Other thing is if you don't wear pants, you're not considered professionally or taking it seriously. Motherfucker, it's 100 something degrees and we're doing outdoor mics in July. It's an open mic at a bar.
Yeah.
Who the fuck's taking this seriously? It's a gym.
Exactly.
Like that. Open mics are gyms. That they just need to be. They're comedy gyms. That you go to work out material. You're not taking it seriously, but at the same time, do your best to be presentable, and it's there for networking.
Exactly.
So you don't want to go there and like, you know, not on like laundry day and just look like a piece of shit, like a meth head or something like that. But you also, you know, don't need to wear a fucking suit and tie to a fucking outdoor open mic with 5 people.
Yeah, when it's 100 degrees outside.
Yeah, like just know your audience and play to that. And just, I think 90% of everything that I've learned in this comedy scene, even in the short time that I've been in it, is confidence takes you everywhere. Confidence, but also not being an asshole. Being receptive and being open to people, but just having the confidence to say like you deserve to be on stage.
Yeah.
That's it. If you can master those two things, if you can kind of balance those two things, it's hard. It's harder than it sounds.
I mean, confidence is something I struggle with.
Yeah.
Like, not confident at all. Even when people tell me I do a good job, I'm like,
There's a lot of shit going on, and I haven't been to a lot of mics, and I did the open mic at Go. I hosted that.
yeah, you did great.
Oh, thanks.
And everyone there was cool. I love Gene. I love the whole place.
Yeah, that place was great. I love Gene. Gene's been such a supporter of Tulsa comedy. I love that dude. But between that and then I did my Unloading Meat Presents August 5th, I hosted that. I really hadn't done a set myself in almost 2 months. Don't even count, like I did an open mic like once or so, but like I never really did like just a set.
Yeah.
I mean, hosting's different. I mean, hosting you're doing like 1 or 2 jokes just to like warm up the crowd or just like keep the energy up, but I'm not really doing a set. So last night I was freaking the fuck out. I was trying to practice. This is my first time in a long time just doing a long set. And I went up there and I would say 3/4 of it I wrote on the way there. Just kind of free, just moving stuff around and stuff. We got high, went up there. I did my set and I did pretty good. And I the first 4 minutes I felt really rough. And then the bar woke up and the bar started laughing to my shit and they started responding. And I was like, okay, I woke them up. I got loose, had really good fun. And I ended up doing about 12 minutes. I fucked up my ending a little bit, but then I got off the stage because I went too long. I was just riffing on fucking Kids Bop. I literally I wrote that on the way there. Kids Bop's really fucked up. You know what Kids Bop is?
Yeah, where they did like child covers of popular songs.
If you ever wanted to hear popular songs sung by tweens, I mean,
It's
who said yes to that? But
a
somebody did.
weirdo. It was a weirdo. It had to have been.
Yeah, and my whole premise is like they do all the songs and songs that there's like not a filter on what they're not going to do. And some songs like it gets creepier when you hear 11-year-olds singing it. Pumped Up Kicks has a Kids Bop.
I mean, I think that's the target audience for Pumped Up Kicks.
Yeah, and then I go into Miley Cyrus's Wrecking Ball has a Kids Bop. Now imagine your 11-year-old licking that sledgehammer, and an entire crowd in the bar goes, ugh! And I was like, exactly. And then I go, most of the Weeknd's catalog is on Kids Bop. I'm shitting you not. His first one, I Can't Feel My Face When I'm With You, is sung on Kids Bop. It's in the commercials. That song is about doing so much cocaine that he can't feel his face, and he's fucking a girl. And it's 12-year-olds and 11-year-olds saying, I can't feel my face when I'm with you, but I love it. Yeah, it's creepy, right? It's fucked up. So I was ending with that, but I messed it up. But anyway, what I was getting at is, like, I felt so confident. I got better as I went on. I got off the stage. And the two women that was the bartenders at Baby Roos and Andrew Live, who was, do the music and stuff there, came out to me, and she's like, the owners were like, that was so funny, I like your stuff. What do you do November 17th? And we're like, we're having a birthday party here. We want you to do a comedy here and do most of that same set. And I was like, well, I just wrote most of that here. She's like, just do it. And then Andrew was like, I'll pay you $50 for coming here. And I got booked just from doing that open mic. And like, I was just fucking riffing a lot of shit, just having fun.
That's so fucking awesome, dude.
But I got a gig off of that. And like, not only that, but Andrew and the owners are going to come on the podcast and promote their podcast and promote their bar. And so I developed a relationship from just doing that free time.
That's
and
awesome.
That networking helps a lot. Like, that it matters. And like I have anxiety, I have depression, and like day of the show, I'm like that person, like I'm gonna cancel plans and shit like that. Like I'm like the day of, like I'm not gonna do this. Fuck this. I got better things to do. And I was like kind of hesitant, like I don't have anything written. I don't know if I'm gonna do this. I haven't performed in a while. And I was almost like going to tell them I'm not getting paid. I'm driving from Bartlesville to Broken Arrow for an unpaid gig. Like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
And then after all that, I called Trash last night and I was like, hey, did I do something right? Because I just drove an hour and a half for an unpaid gig, but then I ended up getting a nice relationship, a podcast booked, and I got a $50 gig in November from the owner. And he's like, yeah, I think you're doing good. And I was like, okay, then it's a positive.
Yeah, no, I don't see how that could have played out better.
You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you just need to win. You just need to know that you're on the right path. And like, that shit matters sometimes. Like those little things, like, yeah, at least some good came out of it.
Exactly.
This place is like a casino. There's no clocks in here.
No clocks. I mean, you do have the windows, though. Maybe if you drop the other curtains.
Well, I upgraded the camera. I got, like, when I did my live show, I sold one, because I had 3 of these cameras, these Sony cameras.
Okay.
I'm going to eventually upgrade them all, because they only go up to 30 FPS.
Okay.
And I would eventually have to go to 60 FPS on YouTube, just so it's smoother.
Yeah.
This is like a $800 or $900 4K camcorder from Panasonic, and a dude was selling it for $300 on Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, dude, fuck yeah!
And it came with extra batteries, SD card, that tripod he gave me for free. He gave me a whole bunch of other shit, a light rig for it, and I ended up getting it for like $280. And the reason I got it for $280 is he goes, "I'll take $20 off of it if you tell me a joke." And he made me laugh, and I was like, "Okay," because I told him I was comedian stuff, and I was doing it for the live show, and so I told him my Tim McVeigh joke. I don't know if you've heard my Tim McVeigh.
I don't think so.
I was like, "Are you from Oklahoma?" He goes, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay." I was like, show of hands, anyone else think Timothy McVeigh was just really bad at Jenga? And I just deadpan for a while, and I go, "Oh, a few of you?" I was like, "I'm glad a few of you got that, because I tried that joke once in Oklahoma City, and boy, did it bomb."
I love it.
Yeah.
Dark humor is fun.
And then, like, if I do that, like, usually I open with that. And, like, if I do something that's, like, if I talk about abortion or I talk about, like, nasty stuff, like body fluids, stuff like that, if anybody groans, like, oh, so that's where we draw the line, but not that knucklehead fucking Tim McVeigh? That old rascal Tim McVeigh, you were fine about laughing with that, killing, murdering little kids, but
Talk
semen?
About
yeah. Well, dude, that was what got them the most. I forgot. That was the moment. I made the bartenders leave the bar and, like, come around because they were laughing. I noticed it. I started talking about sucking dick and stuff like that. And, like, I was like, I'm just saying, sucking dick's fun. I mean, what kid didn't love those fucking baking soda volcano experiments growing up? I was like, and you know what they say, if you ever had an easy bake oven growing up, experiments are a lot more fun when they're edible. And then I heard a kind of guys go, oh, but the girls were laughing. And then I go, let me just be honest. I'm just going to say it right out here and be frank. I just wish more white people swallowed. And just hear me out. So that way they would know how to season their food better. And that's the joke that made the bartenders go, oh, they got it. Like they understood it. Because I found as being a bi male, by mail. By mail. I got ordered by mail. No, that's my next wife.
Hey, mail order wives are where it's at, dude.
Yeah.
But what were your?
What I was gonna say is, I do a lot of jokes where I'm just real, talk about, like, dick sucking or something like that, or just just natural, just stuff we're talking, just jokes about it. I can get that female demographic because it's very relatable for women.
That's fair.
Whereas the guys grow and the women are like, yeah, he's got a point. I do have a remix of a Dave Attell joke that I love because Dave Attell's my idol. I love a Dave Attell, and I think Skanks for the Memories, his CD, his album is to this day probably one of the all-time best comedy albums ever made.
Okay.
Highly recommend if you ever listen to any comedy album, go listen to Skanks. It's called Skanks for the Memories.
Skanks for the Memories. Okay.
It came out in 2004. It's still relevant. It still sounds amazing, and it's Dave Attell. I don't know if you know who that is.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of Dave Attell.
Dave Attell, dude, that guy's album, it's amazing. And I love the way he lures the crowd in sometimes, and I kind of have my own version of it. So he talks about the size of a man's penis, and he goes, "Ladies, is it the size that really matters?" And a woman goes, "Yeah," and he goes, "Well, the whores have spoken." And because he just lured them in.
Yeah.
So I have this thing where it's kind of like my own homage, but it's different. I'm not trying to joke steal or shit like that.
Yeah.
But it makes me remind me of that. It was where I was I talk about sucking dick and stuff, and I was like, sucking dick is fun. I was like, does anybody think sucking dick is fun? Or does anybody think going down on your no parts is fun? And people, so yeah. I go, okay, now everybody beside the horse. And I kind of trick them like that.
Yeah.
So that's my kind of homage to it kind of thing. It's a different approach, but yeah, I'm not trying to steal.
Yeah.
But I love how he does that kind of shit.
I mean, it's a fun way to get people.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yep. And it gets people woke up. My humor and my writing style, I told Trash, maybe this is some inside baseball how I work, but I'm developing my method where I like to riff more. I don't know about how your style is. What's your comedic style? Let's go into that. You're the guest. How do you like to write? How do you like to do your comedy before you go up? Say to an open mic.
So what I do is I sit on my porch and I just basically journal, but it's journaling stories from my past or things that I think are generally funny.
Yeah.
And then after I've gotten sometimes 5 or 6 pages written, I'll go through and read it and be like, oh, this line here is funny. And then I'll work backwards to try to create a joke from that.
Okay. So let's say day of, say you got 5 minutes, how do you piece together that set? How do you...
So,
how do you find those segues and stuff?
So the way I do it is whenever I write jokes, or not write jokes, but write my sets out, I will pick a joke, and most of my jokes have 2 or 3 other jokes that are just attached to them.
Same subject matter.
Yeah. So if I talk about glory holes, I'm going to talk about little dicks.
Yeah.
They're related. Or if I talk about, now I've got a joke about snake ladies, which is ladies who like snakes. It's not a sexual thing. It's just reptilians. It's a reptilian thing. But
okay.
But that joke is now associated with my porta potty joke because the last tag for that joke is part of the porta potty joke. So I just try to compile things by how they're related to jokes or related to other jokes in my set. And then sometimes I have jokes that are just throwaways that I'll toss in wherever.
So I like asking that, and I like breaking that down with different comedians because I like hearing different people's styles and how they prepare. Because I'm still learning my own style, trying to develop my own time, and
me too.
It's also when to crowd work, when to not, and when to be so structured and when to not. It's finding that middle ground, that happy medium of being structured enough to be on time, but not structured enough to where it feels more conversational. And I'm struggling with that sometimes.
I definitely understand that.
I overcomplicate material sometimes. So that's my thing. I have roast battle tomorrow. I've done 2 before. First one, I won 1 round, lost 2, and I found from that, and even now I'm still starting to write. I go past the laugh. So I'll have the laugh, and then I add another tag to it, or I keep going with it. I'm over descripting it, and when I should have just stopped.
I do the same thing. I think that's just a young comic. They say to stop before they stop laughing.
Yeah.
End on a laugh.
Yeah.
And I think that I do the same thing. I recognize what you're saying.
Because bringing up the attire, you'll get this. I had a roast joke for one where I said, you dress like a GTA pedestrian. And then that's the laugh, but then I kept saying, like, you dress like a GTA pedestrian and not the ones I would like to fuck. Or not the ones I jerk off to.
Yeah.
And that was like, nobody heard that because they're already laughing.
Exactly.
And it lessened the fucking impact of everything. So yeah, like the second time I won the roast battle, I won every single round, and so I'm hoping to do that tomorrow. But like, my only joke I have right now written for her, as I said, like she looks like she confuses EBT with BET. That's what I have for Lynn K, and I was like, I'm just gonna take that and put it on this one. It works.
Did you see that Lynn K won second in the Red Dirt comedy contest last night?
I didn't see that. No.
Yeah, it's a thing. Have you heard of Matt Farrell?
Yeah.
It's a thing that his company, My Peacock Comedy, I think, puts on at Red Dirt once a month or once every couple of weeks, and she got second last night.
Nice. Congrats to Lynn K. I love that woman. She's awesome.
Yeah, she's been super nice to me every time I've met her.
I tell people, like, when I first started this podcast and I put up my first little ad saying looking for guests, the first two people that ever reached out to me that I didn't know anybody were Little Miss MG and Lynn K. And I will always be grateful to those two women because they didn't know me and they came out to fucking Bartlesville to a complete stranger's, dude's house.
Yeah.
And took them up on an offer to be videotaped for free. Says a lot. Says a lot.
Yeah.
And I didn't ask them to take off their clothes.
That's good.
Yeah, it's good.
Because had you done that, the podcast might have had a different trajectory.
Yeah, that's for my OnlyFans. That's for After Dark.
Yeah.
That's when we unload the meat.
Oh my.
This episode of Unloading Meat is not brought to you by your favorite mobile banking app such as Cash App. Man, I love using Cash App, especially when I'm doing things other than buying drugs. Cash App. And we're back with Bailey Mickle. Bailey, I think it's time for our guest questions.
Oh shit.
Guest questions! This is a part of the episode where I like to get my candid responses to my guest questions. So before we do this interview, I always tell my guests, bring a couple questions. Don't tell me what they are. You can be philosophical. They can be, humor-filled, whatever. I just want to get my candid responses. So, Mr. Bailey Mickle, take it away.
Okay. So, for my first question, are you familiar with the machine thought experiment, the experience machine?
No.
Okay, cool. Perfect. So I don't remember who did it, and I didn't take notes because
we're off to a great start.
Well, no, I didn't take notes on its name. I can explain it. So
okay.
You have an opportunity to be placed inside of a machine.
Okay.
And in this machine, there's nothing but positive experiences. It's a world created entirely by you, however you want it to be. But once you're in, you can never leave, and you will no longer know that you are in the machine. Do you do it?
No.
Why?
Because I want to have freedom of choice.
Well, you could you could implement whatever you want into this machine.
It's still not freedom.
I mean, I agree.
Some ways, it's like the. This is such a deep cut thing. I think I talked about it on the podcast before, but like Batman animated series, there was an episode where the Batman's under the Mad Hatter's fucking experiment. And he figures it out because he tries to read a book, and you can't read books in your fucking dreams or whatever, and the whole script's jumbled up and stuff like that. And he figures out he's trapped in an illusion.
Oh, shit.
I always imagine that, somewhere self-consciously, you just know something's up, and you're gonna figure that out. And no.
That's fair. I'm right there with you. But that's I like philosophical questions and thought experiments, and that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, go back to the Matrix kind of shit.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Question 2. Bailey Mickle.
So, what's your favorite musical?
Ooh, favorite musical. Across the Universe.
Across the Universe. That's the Beatles, right?
Yes. It's a very good movie.
Yeah, it is.
That movie's dope, and it didn't get a lot of praise. It kind of came out, and I know it was a little indie. It was low budget, but damn, the music's hits on there. I am kind of a snob when it comes to covers. I usually like the originals of a lot of covers, and like if you're gonna cover a song, make it your own, or like don't try to copy the original too much. So covers are really weird to me.
Yeah.
That album is fucking fantastic, and there's some versions of the Beatles songs where I'm like, I like those versions better. Like I just, they sound great. Like the guy that plays JoJo, and he basically is their version of Jimi Hendrix. His voice is fucking great.
Really great.
That inspired me. I have my favorite Beatles song is "While My Guitar Gently Weeps." I don't know if you know that song.
I'm not familiar.
But he sings. That actor sings the second verse in that pivotal scene in the movie, and I always remember these lyrics, and it says, "With every mistake, we must surely be learning."
I like that quote a lot.
And
That's
I have it
nice.
tattooed on my wrist to face me, and that's my little personal thing. Like that's my tattoo. Like I love that quote, and so like yeah, and like when you watch that movie, that scene is so like oh yeah. So yeah, that's my favorite musical.
That's a great musical. I
Yeah.
really like it.
Yeah. Now you're saying like musical like Broadway plays or like that?
That was more what I had in
Okay.
mind, but that works.
I was thinking musical movies. It's gonna have to. I mean Hamilton. I mean, but no, Book of Mormon.
Book of Mormon.
Book of Mormon's fucking fantastic. I'm a big Trey Parker and Matt Stone fan.
Yeah.
Like South Park guys. And yeah, when those guys were like, hey, we want to make a musical. And let's do a musical. And it's fucking like, give them all the Tonys. It's just fucking great. Like, I like the South Park guys. See, this is why I like your questions, because it gets me on a tangent like this.
Yeah.
Humor is intelligence.
I wholeheartedly agree.
You have to be smart to do witty and very well-crafted jokes. And a lot of times people dismiss the creators of South Park for just being like toilet humor and just being filthy and stuff. And there's a lot of intelligence behind it. They're doing a satire.
Yeah.
They're doing a satire, and I would say a commentary, a social commentary sometimes on a lot of shit.
I
And
wholeheartedly agree.
people dismiss that shit because of just how they're fucking presented.
Yeah, they do it in a crude way, but it's satire of real stuff.
Yeah, and
And-
so I always appreciate that, and I can appreciate well written stuff, well written material. That's why like some of my favorite shows are like Better Call Saul or like Barry and stuff like that, where they're just. I love when they cast comedians in dramatic roles because you honestly get more pathos or more everything from them.
That's why I like Jim Carrey in some of his more serious roles, like the number
Truman.
23 Truman Show.
Truman Show.
Kidding. Did you watch Kidding?
I didn't watch Kid.
It was-
No, I didn't watch Kid. It was on Showtime, right?
Yeah, it was a TV series like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah. I didn't watch that. That's right around the time that Sacha Baron Cohen had his show on Showtime too, and I watched that. Like, there was one where he was interviewing people. I can't remember.
But the Truman Show, yes,
Yeah.
that movie is fucking awesome.
Well, one of my all-time favorite movies, and also one of my all-time favorite documentaries about a movie, is Man on the Moon.
About
And-
Andy Kaufman.
About Andy Kaufman.
Yeah.
And then watching the Netflix documentary about the making of that. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
I haven't seen that.
Watch it. If you're a Jim Carrey fan, watch it. If you're a movie fan, watch it. So Jim Carrey went full method for that movie. He stayed in character as Andy Kaufman the entire time, which if you know Andy Kaufman, he also had his alternate ego, the Tony, I can't remember, like Chavone, or the big fat guy, the you know what I'm talking about. The
Yeah, I
sunglasses.
know what you're talking about.
So he would dress both of those, and like he would only respond to Andy. He only talked to Andy, even to the cast and like Danny DeVito that were actually on the original Taxi and stuff. He would only respond to Andy, and then like they would have like Andy Kaufman's family there, like his surviving family, and he did such a performance that they were like he was part of the family. Like they were like Andy's kind of back, and he was just like acting like Andy around their fucking family and shit.
commit to the bit.
And like there's even times where like he would put like a brown bag over his head, and like there's driving golf carts, and he's running them in the fucking trailers and shit in the fucking back lots because he has a bag on his head because Andy can't be seen without his makeup. Because he didn't look like Andy, so he put a bag on his head to pretend he's still Andy. He was full, and like he even talks like it has Jim Carrey interviewing himself in it, and he's talking about how like that role changed him because he didn't know when to turn Andy off, and at the end of it, he didn't know where the line between Andy and Jim was, and he didn't know who Jim Carrey even was after that. Like it fucked him up so mentally after that one movie.
That's really, I mean, that's not cool, but that's so fucking cool.
It's interesting, right?
Yeah.
Like, go watch, like, oh my God. Like, watch the movie, then go watch the Netflix documentary. It's called, like, The Man in Me or something like that.
I'm going to have to, I've seen the movie, but I haven't seen the documentary, and it sounds so fucking good.
Another great album, too, soundtrack. Fucking REM.
Okay.
I'm not a big REM fan, but, like, they did the soundtrack for Man on the Moon, including the song Man on the Moon. It's all about Andy Kaufman, and it's really good. Yeah, it's a great movie. I'll have to watch it tonight. Okay. Sorry. So, yeah, I love these questions.
Okay.
Question 3 from Bailey Mickle. Thank you for these questions, man.
Absolutely.
This is why I like this segment.
Okay, so you've told the story on here multiple times about how you thought you were banned from the Looney Bin.
Yeah.
Did you ever think you'd do comedy again, or did you ever did you still have like obviously you still had it inside of you because you came back to it?
Yeah.
But during that period of time, did you have other creative outlets beyond karaoke? Because I know this is now a creative outlet for you.
Yeah.
But before that, what were your creative outlets, if you had any?
So, like, when I got banned from there, it shut down the comedy. I just gave up on that. I was just like, it's like when I did like 2 times in Looney Bin, and I was like I was 21.
Yeah.
I was the kid that every time I went there, because there was like a 2-drink minimum kind of thing, and I didn't drink alcohol before I went up, so I would get like a soda, and they would give you these Looney Bin plastic cups that had the logo on it, and I was the kid that was like taking photos with them, and this is my souvenir for going up for stand-up comedy. Like, every week I was collecting another cup.
Yeah.
That was my thing. Like, I was so into this, and then when I got banned, it devastated me. I quit. I gave up.
That's so fucking horrible, man.
So I just shut that part off, and then I became a dad, and I became, got married, and just, went through that, and I was in cell phones for a while, and then, like, you see it now, like, you've seen, like, the way the production studio does, like, the thumbnails and stuff like that, and, like, I advertise for, like, freelance work for flyers, and you see my flyer work and stuff like that. Like, I'm really good with Photoshop and that kind of stuff. During days of like working for cell phones, that's where my creative outlet. I'd make flyers. I'd make advertising campaigns, and like,
oh, very cool.
When I worked at T-Mobile was a very small brand in Bartlesville. Like, nobody knew what fucking T-Mobile. Like, it was usually like U.S. Cellular or AT&T here. It was a very small place. So like, I painted my hair pink. I wore pink kicks. I became Mr. Magenta. I was known as Mr. Magenta in Bartlesville. And I walked around in full magenta gear and pink glasses. Yeah. And I was the brand ambassador for fucking T-Mobile. And I would make flyers, and I would Photoshop flyers and deals and stuff like that. And that was what I did. And that's what got my creativity, was doing it business-wise like that. I'm the kind of guy that was like, okay, we have to do this training. My last real 9-to-5 job. This is kind of where I lost like a lot of stuff. Like COVID changed a lot of people.
Yeah.
I got fired from T-Mobile for some shit. I think I've talked about it on the podcast before, but that was like January 2020. Started a new job March 2020, and I was in training at this call center. What else started around March 2020?
COVID.
Yes. I got COVID in training and got super sick. They closed the place, and they said, okay, we're going to send everybody home. You guys get paid from home while we figure out what's going to do with this training class. We didn't get to finish training. I'm the guy in training that's like, okay, we just have to do these little workshop places. I'm going to do a full-on, like, video production and, like, scripts and music interlays and stuff like that. Like, I go full bore, so when I do a presentation, it's like, holy shit, what we just watched.
Yeah.
We watched the fucking entertainment. I've always been that guy. Looking back, I'm like, I kind of went overboard. I was trying for an outlet. Like, I was really seeking outlets.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, basically I got sick, and then they paid us for a little bit, and then they're like, okay, well, we don't have a way to bring your training class back, so they fired me. So, like, I had no job, and then I got COVID, and then it was right whenever everything got shut down, so I had no job going to that.
That's rough.
But yeah, that's where my outlets were, was like just kind of like seeping through, doing Photoshop here and there and stuff like that. But yeah, no comedy outlet in a while, until I got divorced for the second time, went through therapy, and kind of found myself again, and kind of dealt with like my childhood trauma, my sexual abuse, like the trauma from my marriage, my marriages, and like, abandonment issues, stuff like that. Kind of figuring out my bisexuality. Like, I dealt with all that shit kind of all at once, and paid off also at the house, and paid off the house and the car at the same time. And when I launched this year, it was like, okay, this is the fresh start. This is me doing everything new business, new everything. And just haven't looked back since.
You've done amazing work. The studio looks awesome. Your comedy is great. Like,
thanks, man.
You're great at hosting. So I'm glad that you were able to work through everything and you're where you are now, because if you weren't, we wouldn't be here together.
Yeah. Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. And I love the questions.
Absolutely.
Good. You got any more questions?
I have a couple other ones,
let's
but they
keep going,
aren't as like.
Dude, I like these
no,
questions.
I've lost my place.
Go right ahead, bro. The magic of editing.
Yeah.
I'm loving these questions.
Okay. So you've played a lot of video games.
Yeah.
You had Red Dead on when I got here.
Yeah.
Which isn't what I was going to talk about. We talked about Mass Effect a little bit.
Yeah.
What would you say the most influential / important video game that you've played for like relatability to characters or relatability to story or something that like you think about in passing? Just
That's a good question for relatability, because like if you would have told me, like, asked me like. Cause I have a Hitman tattoo on my calf. For like that was the first like mature game that really like changed me.
Fuck yeah.
The original one, like the Codename 47 on PC, like the first Hitman game.
I don't know if I played that one. I've played sequels and subsequent ones, but I don't think I've played
This was the first. Like it was like you basically had an open world and like you're just a hitman and you can have this, it was like basically so many different ways that like you can disguise yourself, you can assassinate people, and like there was like 4 different ways to do a mission. And this was like really early PC gaming, so it was like this was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, as far as relatability, damn. Okay. It's gonna get dark.
That's okay. I'm here for the ride.
The opening to Last of Us 1. If you've ever played Last of Us.
When Joel, his daughter, gets
Killed.
Ugh. Okay.
And they recreated it like amazingly on the HBO show.
Yes, they did.
That gets me, and that still things me as a father. Like that part, like that. I've never had a game sell you so fast on fatherhood and paternal or just paternal instincts and like trying to protect your kid. And the writing was so well done. The soundtrack was so done and so minimalistic of just acoustic guitar occasionally being in there. Yeah, it's so jarring and it's so sad. And that's like, it's such a way to start a show in a movie or anything, a game.
Yeah.
It sticks with me. And that scene, and like more so than everything, it's her cries. Like that actress that does the cries when she's dying is so good. And then like that was the part where I was like, when they announced that they were going to do a show on HBO and they were going to do Last of Us, if that scene was going to make or break it.
Yeah.
And because I don't say I'm desensitized to it, but like how many people die in video games?
Thousands.
That's the goal most times, is murder people down in most of these games, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Even in The Last of Us, you're murdering down humans and the infected.
Yeah.
But they gave consequence to death, and they actually made you feel like this character was alive, and you were actually, you could hear in her whimpers like the life leaving her. The only other one that really to this day I will not play. There's 2 games I won't play. I will skip. Max Payne 1 and 2.
Okay.
His nightmare levels. I don't know if you ever played Max Payne's. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, where you have to follow the trail of blood. I can't do those. If for those that have never played those games, it's a dirty, grizzled cop, New York cop, and his wife and kid gets murdered. And you just get to learn about that in flashbacks, basically. And throughout the game, he gets knocked out, and you get these like dream sequences where he's reliving the murder of walking home and witnessing his wife and child be murdered. And all you get to do is walk through this deranged house that suddenly turns into this jet black room, and all you're doing is following bloody footsteps of your dead baby as you're hearing your cries of your baby getting murdered. And it's like you're playing that for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's not just a quick, immediately over thing.
It's you're wandering the darkness and bloody footprints as you're listening to your family getting killed. It is such a dark thing to put in a video game. Who the fuck decided that needed to be in a game? Like it traumatized me. Like even before I had kids. Like now I'm like I'm never playing those games. Like I will skip those. Even like I'll watch YouTube playthroughs, but I'll skip those scenes. Like those, no.
That's definitely understandable.
Yeah. Like those more of the dad kind of thing keep with me.
Yeah.
But then
that's why I don't have kids, bro.
But then there's scenes like, in the same game, Last of Us, there's scenes like where they get to meet the giraffes and stuff like that. And like that game, the script of that really is the best showing you of like fatherhood and like what you do for love.
Yeah, it's a roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah. So like, yeah, that would be where I would go for that.
That's such a good answer. Like,
Thanks.
I was expecting something. I not to be insulting. I just wasn't expecting something so well thought out.
Yeah.
Like, that's awesome. That was great.
Anything else for me, man?
Not
I'm loving these questions.
Specifically, I know. So you talk about Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Kevin Smith movie?
Oh shit!
Because I fuck with Dogma. Dogma is probably my favorite because it's silly. It's got the right amount of not silly.
Dogma's up there. I love Clerks 3.
The newest
one.
Yeah.
Have you watched it?
I have. We, on the podcast I do, Two Idiots, One Podcast, we did a mini review of Clerks 3 the weekend it came out in theaters still.
That, I'm so glad they kept the big reveal of Rosario Dawson's character, Claire, a secret in the marketing and everything, because often nowadays most movies are kind of ruined in trailers.
Yeah.
Or the best parts are just in trailers like it's always been. But that, I mean, it's been out for a year now. Spoiler alert, his wife's dead by the time the movie starts. And you're dealing with fucking Dante post fucking his wife being dead. And he's so depressed.
Yeah, it's dark.
It's a dark, dark movie. And then he dies. And it's like, fuck. And it's such an allegory for like Kevin Smith and what he was going through. And like he said he wrote it after his heart attack. And like Randall gets a heart attack and basically recreates Clerks. Like, it's such a meta movie and it's such a wholesome movie. And it's just like, I don't know, everything felt so good in that movie. And it's like a perfect ending to that character too.
Absolutely.
Because Dante was supposed to die in the first one. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't know that, but that makes sense.
The original ending of Clerks 1 is, do you remember at the end of the day when, so you've watched Clerks.
Yeah.
The very ending of Clerks is like, Randall leaves and then he comes back and you hear the doorbell ring and he goes, you're closed, and he throws it to Dante and it goes credits. That's the ending of Clerks. The original ending is that doorbell rings and it's a guy robbing the store and he shoots Dante and Dante dies.
He wasn't even supposed to be there today.
Wasn't supposed to be there today. And that's the ending of the movie is he thinks it's Randall and he gets gunned down. And it was too dark and they changed it. And so he dies at the end of Clerks 3 and it's like, he was supposed to die. We didn't know these were final destinations.
Yeah. Oh, shit. You can only cheat death for 2 movies or like 5, but
yeah, technically. He'll come out back again. Like that was the other thing. It's like Dante, like they cast that same guy as different, like his brothers or his relatives, because like his name's Dante Hicks in Clerks, and then they had Gil Hicks in Mallrats as a contestant on that show, and that's like his cousin or something like that in the universe. And then in Dogma and stuff, there's another one that's like something Hicks, and he's the news reporter on the news whenever like the everything's coming on, and like you see him like in the chaos and stuff like that. And it's like every movie he's been a different Hicks.
Yeah. The View Askew universe is so cool.
Yeah. Dogma's up there. Dogma's very hard to get to, like because
I have a physical copy.
I want the Blu-ray because I know it's expensive. I had the big box set DVD that I gave away with my DVD collection. I sold it all years ago. But I mostly went all digital. But like you can't get Dogma on digital because of Weinstein.
Yep, that's why I have a physical copy.
Yep. I found a DVD copy at Game Exchange for like $5, but it was shitty. And I was like, man, if it was good, like it was all scratched up and stuff. I was like, man, I want an actual like good collector's edition. Like the Blu-rays go for expensive because like it was only for a limited print of Blu-rays, and then Weinstein got arrested, and so he has the rights to it. So we're never gonna see that on digital. Anything that's the Weinstein company won't be digitally like that. Yeah, because he has the rights to it until he dies.
Yeah, hopefully.
Soon. I mean, he's looking rough in prison. Oh, fuck that dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a Harvey Weinstein reference on this fucking death. That's why I have the fake plant. Do you know the Harvey Weinstein joke? Harvey Weinstein was alleged to, like, whenever he was like doing the casting couch, when they, and forcing the women and stuff to have sex with him, shit like that.
I knew about that part.
He would come on the fake plants in the fucking room.
Why?
To get rid of his cum. Like basically he would come on the fake plants in the corner or something like that. Like there was cum, Harvey Weinstein's cum on the fucking fake plants that are like up in the corners of these rooms. And so like, yeah, like I have a fake plant on my fucking
You covered it?
No, not yet.
The Stefano?
Spoiler for season 3. Available on OnlyFans. Well, Well, man, thank you for the viewer questions. I think those were fucking fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
I think we can go back to the normal light, so we don't feel like we're in a
Oh, now it's weird.
we're in Amsterdam red light district.
I'm kind of in that alternative comedy scene. I don't know how I got there, but here we are. But that's okay. Like, you're not for everybody.
Well, it's because you look like you're the one guy that didn't get arrested from January 6th.
I didn't even go. I was working that day.
That's my favorite roast joke for trash. He dresses like he woke up late on January 7th. Well, my thing is like everywhere that you go, it's more important to network than it really is to see like how much your material is. It's like if you have a comment on the stage, you can have a few jokes. Again, an open mic is a gym.
Yeah.
So 9 times out of 10, they know you're working on new shit and it's not polished. So as long as you come off as professional, you had confidence on stage and at least act like you belonged on there, and then you're not an asshole to people, and then you make connections and handshake people and start getting those connections, go to every club you possibly can.
Yeah.
I got that gig last night just from doing that Baby Roots open mic.
And that's so fucking awesome, dude.
But that's what happened. I did Looney Bin, and I met Hilton Price because I did a set there. And all of a sudden, I'm on Opinions Like A-Holes, which is the longest-running podcast in Oklahoma.
Oh, fuck
Hilton
yeah.
Price and Michael Zampino host that. And they were just in the crowd there, and I did my set, and they're like, hey, do you want to come on the podcast? And now they came on mine. So, like, we both did different podcasts.
That's awesome.
By the way, I'd love to call on yours to talk to us if you want to still do yours.
Yeah, so I would totally be down for that. We only have 2 mics right now, and that's why we aren't doing guests.
Okay.
But whenever we get a 3rd mic, which we're planning to by the end of the year, we plan on having guests, and I would love to have you on.
Yeah, man. Do you guys use XLRs or USB?
We use XLRs.
XLRs?
Yeah.
Honestly, if you ever needed to, I could also just unhook one of these and bring it down, too.
I mean, I would be down. I would have to talk to Taylor, the guy
Yeah.
I do it with, because, we try to do everything like partnership style.
Well, just saying, I offer if you ever needed
Yeah.
an extra mic or something like that. I have no problem doing that.
Okay, absolutely. And I would love to have you on. We usually do like movie reviews, or we used to do movie reviews. We're doing like philosophy and stuff now. We just did an episode over solipsism,
Okay.
which is the philosophical principle that you're like the only sentient conscious force in the universe, and everything else is just like a figment of your imagination.
Oh, wow.
Super silly stuff, but we talk about it in a semi-serious, semi-joking way, and then it's fun. We have fun, but we would.
That's reminding me. What was that? What was that famous '80s drama that was like the hospital, and then they revealed the finale that was all in an autistic kid's like snow globe.
I'm not sure.
There was like basically the series of this drama, and it was always like bad writing and kind of quirky kind of shit. And you're like, what the fuck is going on in the show? And then like the series finale, they pull back and they reveal that the entire thing was just a hospital in a snow globe, and this autistic kid's holding it.
No, I'm not familiar.
It's it was just like
that sounds like some Twin Peaks shits, but I know it's not that.
Nah, fuck it. What was that? I'm fucking pulling it up.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
Pull it up.
Pull it up. I haven't heard of
St.
that.
Elsewhere. The Snow Globe series finale. Yep. Let me find the picture. Yeah, the autistic boy holding the snow globe. Yeah. There's the St. Elsewhere, the hospital, and yeah. That's what they pull back, and they're like, "Yep, he was just playing with a snow globe the entire time."
That's super wild.
Yeah, super wild. How much cocaine were they doing on that show? Snow.
They probably did so much LSD in the 70s, they were just having flashbacks.
That's like we talked about Dave Attell. Like one of my all-time favorite things is Dave's old porn, and it was on Showtime, and it was like him interviewing old porn stars, and they're watching the old porn from the 70s stuff at the same time. Like it's like on a green. It's just him and like the porn stars on a couch and a green screen behind them. And they're just showing the 70s porn or whatever with full bush and everything. And he has like the older actresses and stuff like that on the couch with him. They're like, yep, we didn't shave our bushes back then, and we did a whole bunch of drugs. And like they're just going into it. It's like Mystery Science Theater 3000 for porn. It's fucking hilarious. Highly recommend you look it up.
What's it called?
Dave's Old Porn.
Dave's Old Porn.
It was on Showtime. I don't know if we can find it now.
Okay, I'll
but
find it. I'll figure it out.
It's just him and porn stars riffing about old nasty porns
I
on a
love
couch.
That sounds awesome.
It's fucking great.
That sounds like stuff that I would jack off to at least once.
Yeah.
At least once.
Yeah, just the Dave Attell part.
Yeah. Well, I mean.
I'm thinking of you're gonna have to listen to his album on the way home. It's
Yeah.
Memories. Wait till you get to the Amish porn section. He talks about Amish porn. And he's like, "Oh, Jebediah,
Them's my people.
and he's like, Jimmy crack corn, and I don't care." Jimmy crack.
Trash sometimes says I look Amish, and I've heard other like comedians make a few jokes about it. So
Yeah.
it'll be like making fun of my people. I love it.
Fucking Amish Grove Street, man.
The English wouldn't understand.
You look like you're about to fucking attack CJ with a pitchfork.
Yeah, maybe.
Grove Street for life, bitch.
I hide them in my hay bales.
Or were you a Bala fan?
Aren't they purple?
Yeah, they're purple. Yeah, Barney. Yeah, it's purple and green because they couldn't use red and blue for obvious reasons. I will never forget playing San Andreas and getting to like the 3/4 of the way through the game. And this was PS2 days. I don't know, you played San Andreas.
Yeah.
And then they just had everybody turn into looters because the riots happened. Remember that? We're like 3/4 of the game, the fucking LA riots happen, and like all the NPCs start just stealing TVs and breaking windows and just stealing cars, and like everybody was just super aggressive, and you're just like, what the fuck? This game just fucking coded an LA riot to happen in the middle of the fucking game. And it's like they didn't even fucking like allude to it. They didn't, like, it wasn't like a big plot device or anything. It was just this happens.
That happens, yeah.
Just something that happens. Just for a bit, this game's gonna get fucked up.
And if you're not paying attention, like you might not even realize that.
You get carjacked.
Yeah.
You like will be sitting at a stoplight or shit like that, and people just carjack you.
Well, okay, but who sits at stoplights in GTA?
That's true.
Like,
Well, to be fair, I was mostly like San Andreas. I was messing with the hydraulics and stuff. I had the pimped out car. That's one when you can pimp out your ride.
yeah.
And you had the hydraulics, and you had the nitrous.
Okay, so favorite GTA game?
Ooh, Vice City
Vice City. Story or gameplay wise?
soundtrack.
Soundtrack. Oh yeah, dude, it had Flock of Seagulls on there, bro. Fucking flock.
Soundtrack. That's also one of the things that's sad is like every time we gotta do something to preserve video games and preserve video game soundtracks.
Yes.
Because they lose the rights, and every time they do a new definitive edition, release, you lose part of that charm. Like Vice City on PS2 sounds different and plays different than like the new release. Like there's no Michael Jackson. There's no like 3/4, like a quarter of the songs got removed.
Yeah, at least.
The worst ones, like Grand Theft Auto 4, would do it mid-cycle. You would like get an update, and they would remove songs.
Really?
Like the PC port has different songs, has less songs, and like then they updated it, like it lost songs.
I didn't know
Like
that.
because they would lose the rights to the songs. Like that Grand Theft Auto 4 is also on like the Xbox 360 technology and that stuff, and that's why you don't see a lot of ports for that kind of that game. It's like the redheaded stepchild of the GTA game. Nobody talks about 4.
Well, 4 is actually my favorite.
Really?
Because of the physics engine they use. Because
I hate the driving.
So I love the driving. The driving sucks. It's harder, but it's more like realistic. And even the body physics. So like if you shoot somebody in GTA 4, they fall like an actual like.
I like the body physics. I liked playing on PC and people modded the physics of the cars. To me, the cars felt too top heavy on the wheels. They felt like boats.
That's fair.
Like it felt like they were overly suspended.
Yeah.
Like it just felt like they were like on the tires whenever you drive. That's how I felt when I would drive those cars compared to like any other GTA game.
Yeah, no, I definitely recognize what you're saying and feel that.
And so like I don't know, that was my biggest gripe with that. But I love the soundtrack on 4. I love Nico.
Yeah.
Good morning,
Yeah,
cousin Roman and Nico.
you had that backstabber snake girl friend.
Although I will say, I hated the cheap stores of clothing that you had in like the first shop for Nico, like the little like the bean coats or something like that. Like every outfit you put on Nico was just tracksuits.
Yeah.
It was like tracksuit. It was like he just dressed like Dave Attell. Like you were just playing Dave Attell the entire time and dressing like Dave Attell going up on a stage.
Dave Attell Crime Simulator.
Pretty much. Dude, that game that had a comedy fucking had a stand-up club, and you can listen to Ricky Gervais fucking do stand-up and had a burlesque show. It was Ricky Gervais and who else? There was another stand-up comedian that was in there.
I don't remember, but you could go on dates there.
Yes.
So yeah, I spent a lot of time sitting in my apartment smoking weed, playing GTA, sitting at, the comedy club at GTA.
Yeah, I know. I can't remember who else did it, but like Ricky Gervais was one of them, and he did a full stand-up set there. It's like a 5-minute set. And then like there's a couple others that they had full on stand-up comedians do that, and I was like, that's fucking cool.
That is so badass. The radio stations, the talk radio, and all the GTA games is so fucking funny. When they re-released 3, Vice City, and San Andreas like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time in 3 listening to the talk radio. Like I know
Chatterbox.
Yeah, I know the whole loop.
Yep. And then Fernando Martinez.
I love it.
That's why I love Vice City so much, because Fernando is on Emotion, and he's the DJ of the Love Station, and like I vividly will like hear his intros to songs, like just the way he does. Like, this next song by Meester. Just things like that. Just like those are implanted in me.
Yeah.
I love Fernando Martinez, Laszlo.
And it carries over into multiple games, doesn't it? Some of the radio announcers.
Yeah, they continue. Laszlo's a character in 5. You cut his ponytail off and stuff.
Yeah.
Like he's through from 3 all the way on, because he was like the sound engineer, like the guy behind those radio stations, like the producer out behind the games for a long time. He worked with them for a lot, and that's why he was also in the radio stuff.
See, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Like I haven't done very much research on it, but
I'm scared for GTA 6 because they lost one of their creative, like the guys behind. I can't remember his name. It's like Hilda, or I can't remember his name.
I know who you're talking about though.
Basically, one of the 2 main people that were writing all the Grand Theft Auto games for the years left, and it's going to be a big difference because they were very influential on the I mean, again, satire.
Yeah.
Like those games are just like South Park, where like they can let you do anything, but it's satirical. Like it's a
Well, I'm concerned for GTA 6 as well, but it's because I don't know if this is true, but one of the rumors I've heard is that the main focus is going to be the love story between the 2 protagonists.
I've heard that. Then I've heard that like one of the protagonists might possibly be a cop. I've heard different rumors. There's been lots of different rumors. I mean, until it's substantiated and it comes out on PS6, and then it's going to be on PS7, 8, 9, and 10 for the next 15 fucking years.
Oh yeah. Yeah, 100 years. GTA 6.
Yeah, and each time you buy it, it'll still be $60.
70.
Hell, it'll be 80 by then. Inflation.
100.
Yeah, the normal game price will be fucking $109.99.
See, the thing that bothers me is if you're buying digital, I feel like they should be cheaper.
Yep.
Like
Agreed.
Like the fact that they charge full price for digital games where you don't have to pay for shipping, you don't have to pay the store handlers, you don't have to pay for any of that. But they're like, oh, we're still going to charge you full price. Like,
well, the thing about it too is like with inflation, like they talked about with the PS5 and the Xbox Series X coming out, like there was like they bumped it $10 for the new price. It was $59.99. Now it's $69.99 is the new standard.
Yeah.
But even then they didn't do that for a while. But there was talks with that where like some developers, if you're a AAA game like God of War or anything like that, even that's not going to break them even. Like they need those collector editions and they need those day one pre-orders that give you like the collector edition for like $100. That's what breaks them even on the budget of the game. Like they're losing it on those fucking software sales. And like that's also where like Sony loses money on every PS5 they sell.
Do they?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
They lost money on those, and the PS4 was also like that. But they make it up in the peripherals, and they make it up in the softwares, their budget back. And that's also what happened with the PS2 too. Like they've been notorious about that. They make it back up with all the software and stuff that are their cut of it.
Yeah.
And their idea is like the more we can put this into more households, the more we're going to get it recouped.
Well, the PS2 is the best-selling console of all time.
Yeah.
By like not a significant margin. Switch is about to catch it.
Well, because they knew at the time how important DVDs were going to be.
Yep.
Like they foresaw that, and like putting a DVD player in a game system for a good budget price made it to where every household needed one.
Exactly.
And that was just genius. And also porn. Fucking every porn dictated the format wars every time. Betamax and fucking Blu and VHS, Laserdisc and DVD, and then HD DVD and Blu-ray. Every time porn was significant in deciding what formats we were going to have.
Yep.
And around that time, we had PS2s with DVDs and fucking porn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can go to your neighborhood Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Back before, there were no Blockbusters.
Remember renting games?
Yeah.
Remember renting consoles?
No, I never rented
Oh my
consoles.
God. Back in the day, if you were the real baller, because everybody had their own console. You had an N64, you had a PlayStation, something like that. Some rich kids had multiples.
Yeah.
Most families only just had one if you were lucky. If you didn't have one at all,
Yeah.
If you go to like places back in the day, they would have these big like black like gig like boxes, like big bag, like cases, and they would have the consoles in there, and you could rent them. So like you could rent them for like $20 a weekend and get a PlayStation, and then rent the games with it and have a whole weekend. Then you just turn it back all in. And I did that a couple of times, like for like a birthday. So my mom's like, "Hey, you want to rent another console or something like that?" And so like she would get that. And like, yeah,
That's fucking.
so I
cool.
remember back to that. You had this fucking suitcase, with a PlayStation in it, and then you're like, "I get to rent 2 games."
Oh shit.
Yeah.
No, I remember renting Deus Ex.
Ooh,
Like,
what a game!
yeah, when I was way too young to be playing it, and I couldn't figure it out, and I tried to play it for like 6 hours, couldn't get out of the opening area, and was so frustrated.
Nice.
I was like 6, 7, couldn't read really.
6 or 7 playing days. Nice.
Fucking horrible.
I mean, that's kind of how it was. I was less than 10. I would have been like 8 or 9 or so when like the first Hitman game came out. And I thought, like I said, it was so revolutionary to me. And I was like, wow, you could do all this in an open world like a PC, like sneak through windows, piano wire somebody, disguise them, and then sneak back out. Nobody even knows you're there. Like hide the body in a trash can. I'm like, you could do all this in a game? I was like, this is fucking dope.
Do you remember which Hitman it was where the first mission you're like sneaking into a villa and you have to kill the like head honcho guy, and he's at a house in the center of it, and to the right is a garage?
That would have been Silent Assassin or Blood Money. Blood Money, maybe.
So that's the first one I played when I was like really, really young.
I remember too. Silent Assassin was so like the first one was called Codename 47. It was only on PC.
Yeah,
and
it wasn't on PC.
It became an indie. It kind of took off, and then the second one was called Silent Assassin Hitman 2, and that's the one that went on consoles and everything. That's where everybody kind of was like, "Oh, we can do it on the consoles." That one was famous because he was in a monastery.
Yes,
and
that's the one.
the ending of it is like you shoot out in a monastery, and that was Hitman 2. So, and then they did Blood Money, and then they did a whole bunch of remakes.
Yeah.
I didn't like I'm not a big fan of the current Hitman. Like, I know people like it, where it's like you just do all the levels and it's like open world contact. Like, I don't know. There's so much choice to it now, it's kind of overwhelming.
You can replay it so many times now.
Yeah. But like I talked about, like, I don't know, I'm a little bit OCD with my gaming and stuff like that. Like sometimes it's like I can't play. I stopped playing Fortnite a long time ago, but like, I get overwhelmed with games sometimes when there's just too much. And so like I was playing Fortnite for a while. And, like every time a new season would come out, I'd have to take a break and I'd wait like a month or so, and then I'd watch people play it. And like, I don't know, like I have this thing where like if I play a game and all of a sudden like everything's changed and I don't know how to play, I feel overwhelmed.
I feel that.
And so like that every time a new Fortnite season would come out, it would just turn me off from playing it until I was like, okay, I think I'm okay to try it now. And I don't know, just something about that. And like I would put these like weird goals on myself, like I want to play Last of Us 2. Well, I gotta play Last of Us 1 first, and I gotta put this extra hurdle in front of myself before I play it. Like I still haven't played the second Horizon Zero Dawn. I have like all these sequels I haven't played because I put it in my head where I have to replay the first one first.
I do similar things. Like I definitely understand that.
Red Dead. I'm just now getting to play it again. So I had who was it I had on here? It would have been Jacob. Jacob
Okay.
Hatfield. Shout out Jacob Hatfield.
Yeah, he's great.
We were talking about Red Dead because like I bought it day one when it pre-ordered and everything like that.
Mhm.
I got it on PlayStation and there was a glitch where like the eyes would disappear, and like if you took your mask off or you put your hood up or you took your hat off, you would basically become the Invisible Man. It glitched out your Arthur's skin, and it basically turned it into, until they patched it after like 2 months, you just had soulless eyes. You had dead eyes. You had no eyes. It's just black holes. And so it made it comical, and it made every storyline and every cutscene just laughable. They're just funny. And like if you took off a mask, off a hat, it was just like nothing there. It was just like the Invisible Man, and it was hilarious. And so I stopped playing it because I was like, I can't take this game seriously.
Yeah, and it's got an impactful story.
Yeah.
And you want to be able to feel it inside.
And so then it became one of those things where like I don't want to do that fucking snow mission again. And so I just put it up on a shelf for a while and never played it.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah, which now they've fucking re-released the first one.
Yeah, on
PlayStation. It's
Yeah.
$50.
they didn't have to do that for Xbox because of backwards compatibility.
Well, and also it also just ran better on Xbox always.
Did it?
I have it on PS3. I have a PS3 over there, and I specifically have it just for the old games that are not backwards compatible on PlayStation 5. Because I still play like DJ Hero and Rock Band and all that stuff.
Oh, fuck
and
yeah.
I have all those libraries still.
Fuck yeah.
So I have my PS3 over there for it. Like Beatles Rock Band still rules. It's fucking
Oh.
amazing. Paul McCartney still uses the visuals for that for his concerts.
Really?
Like, yeah, like the trippy, like I don't know if you ever played it.
I I don't know if I've played the Beatles edition specifically, but I played a lot of Rock Band and Guitar Hero and Band Star or whatever the other one was.
So like Beatles one, like there's ones that like they transition between songs on the set list, and the backgrounds get trippy, like you're taking LSD and stuff, and so like they start like moving and flowers start moving and stuff like that, and like it just the whole world like Sgt. Pepper. And he would use those visuals in his concerts for like background footage stuff because he thought it was just fucking cool.
That's
it was,
fucking badass.
It was just new visuals they were doing to Beatles songs. And so yeah, like it's just a trippy game, and it's really cool just to play, especially if you like Beatles because it goes through all of their history, like it goes through all their outfits and everything. I'm a big Beatles guy.
Yeah,
obviously we talked about Across the Universe.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the ending of it is even them on top of the fucking building, and you get to do the songs as them singing on top of the rooftop. Like that's the ending of the game. It takes you through like the whole journey of the Beatles, like their concerts.
That's super rad.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's fucking badass.
But like that stuff's lost because like of rights issues and stuff like that. You can't play it again.
You can't re-release it. They can't sell it on digital stores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but like Red Dead Redemption, the first one, notoriously, like if you play it on Xbox, it just handles better. It's smoother. It's not choppy. The PlayStation port just sucks. And even on my PS3, it's like it looks like shit compared to the Xbox One. It just doesn't look good. It doesn't play well. And I just never did replay it. And so I'm kind of tempted to buy it again on PlayStation 4 or 5 if they up the control, if they fixed it a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it looks like they finally ported the Xbox version over. Because even from what I've seen, it runs smoother. Because like I can load it up there, like you'll see a PS3 and you're like, wow, this looks like shit.
Yeah. Well, did you ever get into like Fallout or any of the Bethesda games?
Never played a Bethesda games really.
Oh really?
I had roommates and stuff like that. Like I got big into WoW.
I was very deep into World of Warcraft.
Met my first wife in WoW and stuff like that. But like I was into WoW so much that any kind of game that was going to be a time sink or an RPG around that time would compete with WoW, and I just was like, I don't have time to invest in it. And so anything like that, Elder Scrolls, Oblivion, all those stuff like that. I never played Skyrim. I never played any of the
You should go back.
Fallouts.
You should go back.
I've owned Skyrim on every single console.
Yeah.
I even through like PlayStation Plus stuff like that, you get it for free. Like I have it on PC. I even have the VR version. I think on my fucking Oculus. Just never played them.
I think you'd enjoy it.
I think I would too. Just on the time sneak. I just haven't ever done it.
That's fair. I just started Starfield like a week ago because I got early access, bro. For the first like 20 hours or so, I wasn't sure. But after I figured out what I was supposed to be doing and how I was supposed to be handling it, I'm having so much fun.
Nice.
I think the first day I played it was the 26th or something. It was like a week ago today. Or the 26th isn't the right date. Doesn't matter. It was a week ago today because I had early access.
Yeah.
And I've already got over 50 hours into it.
Jesus, man.
All I've been doing is wake up, Starfield, go to an open mic, come back, Starfield, 6 a.m. Fuck, I need to sleep.
No, I haven't really. The only games I've been really looking forward to lately is like, I'm really looking for the new Spider-Man 2.
Yeah,
because I love the Spider-Man games. Those are like those games. Honestly, in modern day, are probably some of the best games I played. And I'll always replay them. I love Spider-Man games, and I love they capture swinging so well in that. It's just fun to swing around.
Spider-Man on the PS4 was one of my favorite games.
Yeah.
Like,
have you played Miles yet? Miles Morales?
I don't have a PS5.
Oh, okay. Highly recommend it. It's gonna be good. I'm sure you've seen the trailers for Spider-Man 2.
Oh yeah,
Looks amazing. Yeah.
Are you excited for the new Mario game, the Mario RPG?
Not the RPG. I didn't really see that one so much. I saw the new 2D one. I can't remember what it's called, but like the new 2D adventure that they announced like last week at the Nintendo Direct. That one looked really cool.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called, but it looks really neat.
I don't remember. I know what you're talking about, but I also don't remember.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah. I don't know. It's hard for me to get excited about a lot of Nintendo stuff because the Switch is so like, I don't know. Nintendo does their own little thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, again, if I buy a Switch, it feels like I'm buying like 3-year-old software or hardware. And it's just like, I'm going to play a select. Like, I love the Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 game on there. That was fucking phenomenal. But it's hard to find a lot of adult games or even that would be good for a Switch.
Yeah.
Outside of first party.
Yeah. I like their first party games. And then their RPGs, which I know a lot of them are time sinks, and you just said you don't generally. I'm
just not the biggest RPG guy. Like I said, I'm doing Red Dead now. That's not even full RPG. It's just more just,
adventure.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I just haven't. I mean, WoW. I tried going back into WoW every couple of years, but just it lost me.
I haven't. I was really into WoW for a long time, but over the past year or so, I pretty much entirely stopped playing it. When I moved back to Oklahoma from West Virginia, I played WoW like 12 hours a day for the first like 3 months I was back.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I got to stop fucking playing WoW.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I love the story. Like, I mean, for me, Wrath of Lich King is peak. Like, I love Wrath of Lich King. I love Northrend. I love how they did the art design. I love everything. I love Arthas' story. I mean, Arthas is basically WoW's Darth Vader.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Anakin Skywalker. I loved all that, and honestly, they almost had me back with the teasing the Arthas stuff with the newer stuff that they were doing with
Like
Shadowlands.
Dragonflight?
Yeah, Dragonflight. But I don't know, man. It's just like I would get on and then just like, okay, I'm just gonna do a shitload more dailies. That's just what it felt like. And then like, I don't have anybody to play with, so it's like it's a very social game too. It's like if you have a good guild or something like that, that makes or breaks the experience.
Absolutely.
And also like I don't know, it's hard to pick up and play sometimes with those kind of games. That's my thing with my schedule with my kids and all that other stuff. Is like I gravitate towards more games like I can just pick up, play for a little bit, and then stop.
Yeah.
I really, really like. I'm a big wrestling guy. I'm not sure if you're a wrestling guy or not.
I'm not, but
Okay.
I like it. I'm just not super familiar with it. I haven't watched it.
Did you play any of the old wrestling games on N64? Like
No Mercy?
Yeah, No Mercy.
Yeah, I fucking...
AEW's Fight Forever, the new game.
Yes.
I play that almost daily. It is so much fucking fun. Oh my fucking god, it feels like No Mercy. It's not quite, but I like it. And then like they put a fucking battle royale mode in it, and it's so much fucking fun. It's called Stadium Stampede, and it's you and 29 other players just in a fucking football stadium, multiple levels of weapons and everything, and you just battle it out, and the zone gets smaller and smaller, and it's wrestling chaos. And like you can ride horses and golf carts and everything. It's like all the fun stuff you get from the old wrestling arcade games, like fighting backstage and stuff. The fun, the campiness of the of the video game kind of genre. They brought that back to wrestling games, and it needed it.
Yeah, absolutely. I played 2K22 WWE.
Yeah.
And it was fun. It was good.
It's
but
a simulation.
yeah, it's not the same as like No Mercy was.
No. Whereas this is like, oh my god, I can pull out a barbed wire bat and like thumbtacks and like where the fuck did I get a fucking NFL helmet and I just fucking do like giant torpedoes and jump at people and stuff and like it's just wacky stuff. But you could also have a serious chain wrestling match if you wanted to. They have both,
Yeah.
and they have Mario Party like mini games to play in there and stuff. You can do with friends and stuff. It's just fun.
Yeah.
And the WWE games after like a match or two, I'm kind of bored or like I lose interest because it's just a simulation. Whereas this is just it's flat out fun.
Endless entertainment.
Yeah. For little things like for something that just absurdly like, I can't believe it's never been done before, or if it hasn't been done popularly. They give you little short intros. Like you've seen WWE, like when they do like the 2K games, they give you like a full simulation of their full entrances, and it's long sometimes.
Yeah.
AEW entrances on the games are like 5 seconds, but you get to control the pyro.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So all your face buttons are different pyrotechnics, and you change the camera angles on your shoulder buttons. So as you do each intro, you're just like playing with your friends and you're popping off pyros and stuff like that, and just having fun with it.
Yeah.
And before you even start the match, it's just like you're laughing, you're just having a good time. Each character has their own moveset that are just fun like that, and you can just play around with that. MJF's a dirty heel, so you can backpack or you can backspace twice, and he'll get down on his knees and go like, "Don't hit me," and then you can low blow people.
Great.
Like it's just little things like that. Each character has their own little tweaks and just moves to that, and it's fun. I highly recommend playing that game.
Yeah,
Fight
it's
Forever. You can play it on Switch.
Okay.
So you can play it on Switch, PS4, anything. But it's called AEW Fight Forever.
All right. Yeah, no, I'll definitely check it out because No Mercy was my shit back in the 64 days.
Yeah, it's the closest, and apparently they're gonna keep putting more people into it. I mean, it's got classics in there. It's got like Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy are in there. It's the first game ever since like the 90s to have Owen Hart in a game, because Owen Hart died a long time ago. Because you don't know what happened to him. He died in the ring.
Oh, really?
Owen Hart died from a fucking entrance gone wrong. He was supposed to be like rappelling down, like he's a superhero called the Blue Blazer with a cape and everything, and he's supposed to be lowered from the rafters, and they didn't hook up the harness very well, and he fell to his death, like from the top of the rafters of an arena, live on pay-per-view during his entrance, and they were like having to cut away from it, and like Jim Ross and the announcers are like trying to like know what to say on camera, and like the crowd, and then they kept the pay-per-view going. There's a hole in the ring, like he died, and then they kept the show going.
That's fucking. I would have probably canceled it.
And to this day, people are like, "That's so fucked up that they did that." But then it's like, well, we had 10,000 people in an arena that were paid. We had so on pay-per-view that were paid, And it was like a damned if you do, damned if you don't. And Vince made the call just to keep it going because it was like the start of the pay-per-view. And like, it was back in the days where like, I mean, yeah, I would have canceled it too.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, they kept it going. And in the in the heat of the moment, they just were like, just keep going. They just fucking kept going. And they wrestled around this hole in the ring for the rest of the pay-per-view. And like his friends and stuff were like, they were in the matches and like they knew their friend had just died. And then it's like putting these wrestlers through shit and stuff. Like it was a really traumatic moment.
Oh, I don't doubt it at all.
Yeah, and
that
then like
being said, I
his
guess
wife wants nothing to do with that company. Like she won't put him in the Hall of Fame. She wants nothing to do with WWE. So she would never let Owen be associated with wrestling again. But then AEW popped up, and now they have like a tournament every year dedicated to Owen Hart's memory, and now he's in the game, and it goes to like an Owen Hart charity and stuff like that. So like it's a way to honor him. That's not the people that quote unquote murdered him.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah. So was it like, did they like owe your family a debt or something? Was it like Hatfield versus McCoy's? No. I'm just flabbergasted. Like, how are you getting laid more than I am? And how are you not needing a sponsor like Blue Chew? Which again, could be a sponsor of Unloading Meat, but they're not right now. If you'd like to change that and stop hearing about Stefano's sexual escapades, reach out to your favorite sponsors like Blue Chew and tell them to sponsor Unloading Meat. Now, back to the episode. Mr. Bailey Mickle, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Where can everybody find you at?
You can find me on Instagram at Undead House Party.
I love it.
Yeah. Or on Facebook at Clyde Mickle with parentheses Bailey. You can also find me on Two Idiots One Podcast.
Nice.
We talk shit. You can find me there.
And where's that available at?
It's available pretty much everywhere. Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We've got Instagram, which I'm pretty sure it's just Two Idiots One Pod, and Facebook as well.
Nice. Well, man, thank you for coming on the couch. It's been a pleasure talking to you for this extended interview. I think it's going to be a great episode.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really fun, and I appreciate you having me. This was a lot of fun for me, and I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity to bullshit with you and hang out. And
no problem, man. You're one of us now in the Tulsa comedians, man. I like I said, I like to have people on here that are putting in the effort, and you're obviously putting in a lot of effort. I mean, you're getting booked there, the ramp jam, right?
Yeah.
That was a fucking awesome opportunity, and you crushed it, man. So I'm super proud of you. I'm super happy to see where you're going from this, and I look forward to seeing how this episode turns out, man.
Absolutely. I'm stoked to see it. I think it'll probably be like, what, November?
Probably November-ish, yeah.
Yeah.
Right before Christmas.
Fuck yeah.
You're dressed appropriately.
Yeah.
Red and green, yeah.
Hey, we are Christmas.
On that note.
Wrong.
I'm Jared Ralphie Allen. That's Bailey Mickle, guys. Well, thank you for listening to Unloading Meat. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. Help me feed my kids,
Yeah.
Peace.
Unloading the meat.